Now, let's go to Rudy.
Bringing affordable housing and healthcare to San Francisco's lower-income neighborhoods is enough work for an entire lifetime. Elouise Westbrook did just that, and mostly as a volunteer. Let's check with Jordan Fowler to learn how the Bayview District benefited from her great achievements.
In San Francisco, many of the buildings are named after influential individuals from the city's past and present. Most of us walk by these buildings every day, yet we don't take the time to think about who they represent, or we don't appreciate how much of an impact they have on our everyday lives. I'm here in front of Westbrook Plaza, a medical and housing facility named after one of San Francisco's top crusaders, Elouise Westbrook.
Everyone in Bayview thinks of Bayview and Elouise Westbrook in the same context. When you think about her, you think about the rights of poor people, of welfare moms, of people who needed help, people who needed housing. You always think about her fighting for people.
Nicknamed the mother of Hunters Point, Ms. Westbrook has acted on behalf of her community since she moved to the neighborhood in 1949. For over 40 years now, Ms. Westbrook has been and remains the voice of the poor, forgotten, and ignored.
Whatever the community needs, she would speak out and make sure she'd go to the mayor, whoever was in charge, and say, look, this is what we need, and we want it now.
She was thrust onto the national stage in 1973 alongside 4 of her close friends. Together, they formed the Bayview Five. When San Francisco's city officials failed to get the release of federal funds allocated to tear down the old barracks at Hunters Point and build new housing, the young women set their sights on the nation's capital.
They, as a group, went to Washington, D.C., and they advocated for housing. And the big community legend is that Mrs. Westbrook fell out and fainted in front of Congress, and they couldn't possibly do anything except vote for the legislation that was going to build the HUD housing that we now have up on the hill.
Their efforts were not in vain, and the women returned to San Francisco with the $30 million their neighborhood was promised. Ms. Westbrook's greatest legacy remains the South of Market Health Center.
She was instrumental in getting that clinic started, and that clinic still serves a lot of people in Bayview Hunters Point, and a lot of our seniors are served out of that clinic.
The center honors Ms. Westbrook's vision of affordable health care and affordable housing for all.
A lot of the community activism around here is really based on Ms. Westbrook being willing to speak up, and she spoke up for people who wouldn't speak up. People would come to her because they knew she would say something, and she would advocate for them, and she's always been an advocate for people who can't speak up. And the Elouise Westbrooks are, frail or gone, so we have to take on what she's given us, and that is a strong legacy of advocacy.
Ms. Westbrook's tireless efforts have earned her the reputation of being an outstanding citizen of San Francisco, proving that at even age 96, she remains a force to be reckoned with. For IDTV, I'm Jordan Fowler.
Girl, I'm so hungry.
Well, why don't you grab something from the lunch truck, silly?
That's a good idea. I'd love some Korean barbecue, and then one of those little red velvet cupcakes, and then I'm gonna wash it all down with a glass of Pinot Noir.
Rudy, wake up, wake up. They don't have that at the lunch truck.
Sure they do. There's gourmet food trucks all over San Francisco. And John Jordan investigated them in this next piece.
I would love me some escargot. Sounds yummalicious.
Yummalicious?
The food truck, a mobile oasis that can both reward through convenience and disappoint with lack of variety. Today, we investigate some bold entrepreneurs bringing gourmet food all over San Francisco in what we call food trucking.
Trucking, got my chips cashed in, keep trucking, like the Doodah Man, together, more or less in line, just keep trucking on.
City Hall, every Friday from 11:30 to 2:30. You'll find a fleet of trucks selling their culinary creations, all under the supervision of the company organizing the event. They're called Off the Grid. Let's talk to Matt Cohen, the guy in charge of Off the Grid.
Every time, every conversation that I would have with people with someone who's launching a truck is, how can we park with a couple other trucks?
Yeah.
And there wasn't the ability to do that here in San Francisco. So that's where the idea for the first market came from, and then it's just sort of grown out from there. It's a completely unique experience anywhere on the West Coast.
Yeah.
A mix of tented vendors and trucked vendors. It's an experience that I think is worthwhile for anybody to make a destination on a Friday night.
Once Off the Grid started for Hate, I've been going almost every Thursday that it's been going. I've been to Fort Mason. I did the Mena location. What makes this Off the Grid nice is it's a family kind of thing. I see a lot of people bringing their kids and dogs, and I think that's good.
It's another gathering place, you know. Food is so bonding, better than like any entertainment, any movie you could see. You gather, you talk, you eat and drink, so what better than a little mobile food truck pod like this? I wanted to focus more on the street food aspect of what I was trying to do, so I came up with different vehicles in which to showcase Korean food. So we came up with the tacos, and then the burrito came next, and the burrito is like, we always sell out. Off the Grid is phenomenal. Matt Cohen is the genius behind this event, and as you can see, you know, people really crave it and love it.
I am eating pork and chicken Filipino tacos.
Interesting. How is it?
It's really good, actually. It's kind of marinated pork and chicken, so very tasty. I like it.
That's a big burrito.
Yeah, it is. It's this is an Indian curry burrito from Curry Up Now, and it's pretty spicy. This is the second time I've had it, and I like it a lot.
Off the Grid and mobile food trucks, a winning combination for the people of San Francisco for years to come. For IDTV, I'm John Jordan.
Trucking, got my chips cashed in, keep trucking.